day, guys. Welcome to another warm begin. Best way to start your Mondays. Let's turn this down. And yeah, so we're just going to have a really nice, relaxed class. For those that are new to the class, we kind of mix yoga with a little bit of movement. We'll work with the breath, and we'll get some time to rest and relax. So definitely just go with it at your own pace. I'll give you some cues, give you some options, and yeah, just go with the flow. Lovely. So what we're going to do, I'd say grab one of the bolsters at the front of your mat. So if you've got a few props on your mat, you might just want to kind of, push them away so you've got enough space. Bring the knees, the backs of the knees onto the bolster, so you can either have the legs slightly separated or you can bring the soles of the feet together and come into a nice reclined butterfly pose. And if you're at home, if you don't have a bolster, maybe you can use some cushions or some pillows or maybe a rolled up blanket. So just finding that point where you feel quite comfortable, the back is in contact with the mat, maybe the hands want to rest onto the torso, maybe on the hips or the lower stomach, wherever feels comfortable for you. And if you feel comfortable to, you can close down the eyes. And I just want you to start to connect to your breath. So just noticing that beautiful rise and fall of the chest. And you're not trying to change anything here, you're just allowing that breath to run its natural course. Much like life, it likes to run its own course. Sometimes you just got to go with it and not resist. Now, as you're connecting to your breath, just having a quick scan of the body, noticing how you're feeling today. Is the mind a little bit chatty? Is there some aches in the body? And if there is, maybe just send a nice deep breath to that area. So taking an inhale, filling the lungs and exhaling, sending that exhale to wherever you feel you need that TLC in the body. That's it. Take another slow inhale through the nose and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Two more, nice slow inhale through the nose and slow release out through the mouth. One more, inhale and exhale. Return to your regular breathing. And again, just having a quick scan over the body, just noticing how you're feeling now. If you feel different, the same, or a little bit better, just acknowledging that new sense of feeling. And if you do work with affirmations or intentions, you can set one now. And if you're not familiar with affirmations or intentions, it can be something like a positive statement that you want to embody. So if you're not feeling confident, you can say, I am confident to yourself in your thoughts. Or you could say something like, I am powerful, I am worthy, I am loved, whatever it might be, anything that resonates with you. Once you have that intention, or if you don't worry, we'll still work with the breath. We're going to bring the right hand onto the stomach, if it's not already there. Then we'll bring the left hand onto the center of the chest. And if you have got an intention, just bringing that to mind. And if not, don't worry, we'll work with the breath. We'll take a nice big inhale, fill the lungs. And exhale out through the mouth. That's it, letting it go. So if that was your intention, you're releasing that intention out into the world. Take another inhale deep into the chest. And exhale. One last breath. Inhale. Bring that intention into the heart space. And then release. Carefully bring the hands to the outsides of the thighs. Bring the knees together like you're closing a book. Bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. Carefully just pulling the bolster to one side out of the way. Just be mindful of your neighbours. So bringing the soles of the feet onto the earth, walk the heels towards the bum. And we're just going to rock the knees side to side, just massaging out the hips and the sockets. Maybe sending some breath either side. Beautiful. And then come to stillness. So you're going to raise the right leg, keeping the right knee bent. You're going to bring the right ankle over the left knee. And just seeing how that feels in your hip. And if that's enough, you can stay here. If you want a little bit more, bring the hand onto the ankle and bring the other hand pushing away the knee. Just have a little bit of a stretch here in the hip. And if that's enough, you can stay there. If you want a little bit more, bring the hands, interlace them behind the back of the knee. And just gently pulling the left knee towards the body and then pushing the right knee away. Seeing how that feels. And if you want a little bit more, you can straighten that top leg. Maybe circling the ankles and the toes. And maybe pulling the chin in towards the chest as you raise the head up and away from the mat. We're not holding the breath here. We're breathing naturally. That's it. Again, just finding whichever variation works for you. And if you've straightened the leg, just bring the knee to a bend, bring the head down. And we're going to bring the foot back onto the earth and the other foot. Maybe rocking the hips side to side. If the hips need that little gentle massage. And then bring the knees back to the center. We'll swap over. So raising the left knee, bringing that ankle over the other knee. And again, you can keep the knee there, or you can bring the hands into play, pushing the left knee away. And if you want a little bit more, interlacing the fingers around the back of the right knee so the foot comes up and away from the mat. And then your third option, straightening the leg, bringing the chin in towards the chest so the head raises a little bit up off the mat. And you want to try and push the left knee away from the body so you are getting a little bit more of a hip stretch. That beautiful figure of four. Again, yeah, you can circle that ankle if that feels good. This is a great alternative to pigeon. And again, remembering to breathe. And then if you've gone for the leg raise, bring the head down, bring the foot down, and we'll come down together, bringing both feet back onto the mat with the knees bent. Rocking the knees side to side. And then we'll bring the knees in towards the chest, rocking the hands around the shins or the knees, and making ourselves into a little ball. And again, just massaging the lower back, maybe making little circles, rocking side to side. Just giving ourselves that little bit of self-care and self-love that we deserve. Just enjoying that moment. And then bringing the hands onto the fronts of the knees. We're going to separate the legs so the knees come towards the armpits. You're going to bring the soles of the feet up towards the earth. And you've got three options here. You can bring the hands to the back of the knees, and that's one variation. Or you can bring the hands to the outsides of the feet, keeping the knees bent. Or you can bring the peace fingers around the big toes. And you can hold on to the big toes, maybe straightening through the legs if that feels good, or keeping the knees bent. Just having a little play in your happy baby. Again, just sort of lengthening through the spine. And pressing into the mat, rocking side to side, enjoying the happy baby. Yeah, maybe straightening one leg, maybe bending the other. Sending the breath into those hamstrings. Gorgeous. And then bring the knees back in towards the body. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then we're going to cross the ankles over, bring the hands to the backs of the knees, and we're going to rock the spine along the length of the mat, just gently, so we're getting a little bit of a massage first. And then slowly, slowly, bring yourselves back up to a seated position. Just taking a moment to ground if you need some water or anything else. So if you do find sitting cross-legged can be quite intense, you can grab one of the flat blocks, pop it underneath the bum. At home, you can sit on a cushion if that feels more comfortable. So we're just grounding in the sitting bones, feeling nice and comfortable. And we're going to imagine a string is pulling us up through the spine, lengthening through the spine. Taking a nice big inhale and exhale. So we're going to reach the arms up, take an inhale. On the exhale, so just being mindful of your neighbours, we're going to bring the left hand down to one side. So just checking you've got enough space. Sorry. Lovely. And then we're going to creep the fingers as far as they can go. Bending in the elbow if you need. Curling the right arm up and over. And if the forearm wants to make contact with the mat, beautiful. But making sure both sitting bones are on the mat. Sending the breath into the side stretch. And then inhale, we're going to press into the hand, just bringing the chest and the body back to center. Taking an inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, bring the right hand down to the right. Creep the fingers as far as you can go, bending in the elbow and then curling over to the right side. You might find one side a little bit more flexible than the other. Then breathing into the side body, inhaling and exhaling. See if you get a little bit deeper. Really nice shapes, guys. And then take an inhale. We're going to bring the arms back up towards the center. Inhaling and then exhale. We're going to fold forward, bring the hands as far forward as they can go. Try and keep the bum in contact with the mat. Yeah. And then we're going to take an inhale, pull the belly in. Exhale, creep the fingers forward. See if you can get a little bit deeper. Doesn't matter where you are. You're just trying to see how far you can stretch in your body. Take an inhale, pull the tummy in. Exhale, creep the fingers forward. That's it, surrendering to the forward fold. One more breath, taking an inhale. And exhale. So you can get that a little bit deeper. Bring the gaze to look forward, start to creep the fingers back towards the body as you slowly uncurl the spine. Just be really careful with the back. That's it. So we just do a couple of seated cat-cows here. So we're going to straighten through the arms, bring the chin towards the chest as we round through the upper back. And then we're going to bring the chest forward, bend the elbows, bring the gaze forward. I'll turn to the side. And then exhale, straighten the arms around the back, chin towards the chest. Inhale, coming up. Open the chest, that's it. And just do a few of these in your own breath. You can go slow or as fast as you like. And one more round. And the knee back in the center. Beautiful. And just to make a nice little circular motion with the spine, keep the hands on the knees. Bring the chest round to the front, over to the right, round the back, over to the left. Just make a nice little circle with the shoulders and the chest. And again, just keeping the arms nice and loose and the shoulders loose. Bringing the breath, inhaling as you come forward, exhale as you come back. When you get to the center, just reverse the motion round. And again, you can go as slow or as fast as you like. Nice way to wake up the spine. Can be quite a nice one to do first thing in the morning. And once you finish your last circle, meet me back at the center. There we go. So we're going to bring the hands forward, come onto all fours. However you want to get there is fine. So we're in our tabletop position. If you do have any knee issues, you can fold the mat and just pad the knees, or you can pop a blanket underneath the knees if that feels good. So bring the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to dip the belly down, drop the chest, bring the gaze up, taking an inhale here. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, pulling the belly in, really arching through the back, dropping the belly, taking an inhale, gazing up. Exhaling, gazing down. Just doing a few of these in your own breath. And inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more in your own pace. That's it. See if you can exaggerate those movements on the last one. Excellent. Beautiful. Once you finish, you get a neutral back. So we're going to creep the hands forward. So you want to try and keep the knees and the hips where they are. And you're going to bring the hands forward towards the front of the mat as far as they want to go. Press the hips back. Try and press the chest down. And bring the head onto the mat. And if that is intense for the shoulders, you can bring the forearms down. Or you can bring the head onto a block or a pillow if you're at home. Our little puppy pose. If you want a little bit more, and if you've got the forearms away from the mat, you can sort of like you're scratching the mat with the fingers. Couldn't remember what that is now. 2 more breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. 1 more breath. Bring the gaze to look up. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. And any movements you need to make. So we're going to spread the fingers nice and wide. We're going to tuck the toes. We're going to come up into our first downward dog. So turning ourselves into a nice triangle shape. Threading the head through the arms, looking back at the toes. And if you need to, you can have a little bend in the knees. And we can start to walk the dog. So bending one leg, straightening the other. Pressing one heel down towards the earth, one heel coming up. And just sending the breath to wherever feels good. Maybe rocking the hips side to side. That's it. So we're going to roll the body forward into a high plank. Just for a moment. And then we're going to roll the body back. And then we'll take an inhale. We're going to come up onto the tippy toes. And exhale, we're going to press down into the heels and see how that feels for our hamstrings. Take an inhale, coming up onto the tippy toes. Exhale, coming down. And then we'll walk the feet towards the hands, so coming towards the front of the mat. Maybe bending the knees if that feels good. And allow the upper body to dangle and feel heavy. That's it, sending the breath to where you feel that stretch. Beautiful. We're going to slowly roll up through the spine. Vertebra by vertebra. Coming up to standing. There we go. We're feeling a little bit warmer. So if you do want to grab some water, we're going to go into the movement section. And we'll give some prompts. But again, it's very open to however you want to move. And even if you don't want to move, you can sway, but I'll give you some nice prompts. And online, hopefully you can hear this music. And you're welcome to play your own, if that works for you. So turn that up a bit. Lovely. So we're going to just start with a nice wide stance, keeping the knees bent. And if you feel that you need more room, you can come onto the side of the mat and kind of use the length of the space. So we're just going to start to shake the arms. So I want you to imagine that you're just sort of shaking off any stress from the week ahead. Maybe it's all the Christmas shopping. Maybe it's something that happened at work. Maybe it's your sister. So just shaking through the hands. Maybe having a nice little bounce in the knees. And then we're just going to shake through the middle. That's it, guys. Again, it's all optional. If your body wants to do something else, it's all good. It's definitely encouraged. Coming up to the top. Maybe go round in a circle. And then we'll go the opposite way. There we go. That's it. You can add your own flavour to it. This is just allowing you to express yourself through your body. Now we'll come back through the centre. Maybe coming down one leg. Coming up that leg, going down the other leg. Coming up through there. And maybe just shaking the shoulders. Maybe the hips want to shake. Maybe the whole body wants to shake. Maybe you want to close the eyes. That's it. Remembering to breathe. Taking any water if you need, any layers if you need to come up. And then we can start to kind of work into the legs. So if you want to start to get moving around the mat and shaking, almost like you're shaking away from the auric field. And again, if everything wants to move and shake, you can. Woo. Just let it all go. Almost there, guys. And if you're following me, we can kind of shake through the sort of central area. Almost like we're shaking away from the body, through the throat, through the crown. We're going out wide. Cleansing our chakras. And the last few bits, just go for it. Allow the body to just flow. And then start to ground in the feet if you've been moving. Start to slow down the movements. Come into stillness. You might feel quite warm now. There we go. So, just allowing the breath to settle. If you need some water, please do take some water or wipe with a cloth. It's quite warm today in the studio. Right. So just grounding in the feet, allowing the arms to relax, closing down the eyes. Just going to let the breath settle. So if you wish, you can bring the right hand onto the stomach, left hand into the chest. Just allowing the breath to calm down. There we go. Inhaling and releasing. Inhaling and releasing. One more inhale and release. And just come to your natural breathing. If the chest and the breath is still quite fast, we'll be here for a few moments to allow everything to settle down. Okay, bring the hands to either sides of the body. And again, just having a quick scan, how we're feeling, if there's any tingling sensations, if anything's come up for us, just make a mental note. Beautiful. We're going to gently blink the eyes open as we come back into the room. Just find a nice spot to focus on, just to bring your awareness back into the room. Beautiful. So I'm going to come into a wide goddess pose. So I want everyone to kind of turn on their mats to the side. So if you all face this way, perfect. So we're going to come with a nice wide stance with the feet pointing out, roughly 45-degree angle. Going to bend into the knees, just as low as feels comfortable for you. And if you have any knee issues, just come up a little bit. We're going to keep the spine nice and long, bring the arms out and bring them to a 90-degree bend in the elbow, palms facing forward. Try and keep the shoulder and elbow in line, so you might need to come up a little bit. Or if that is intense for the shoulders, you can dip them down. Making sure the knees aren't curling in. And they're sort of pressing outwards, shall we say. Breathing into that beautiful goddess. Inhaling and exhaling. Bring the palms together into prayer, straighten through the legs as we come up. Just taking a moment here. And then we'll go again, bring the arms out wide. Bend into the knees. See if you can get a little bit deeper. Try and keep the spine nice and long. It's almost like the elbows want to sort of pull back and kind of raise up. So the arms will feel nice and active. That's it. Excellent. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. And then bring the palms together, straight through the legs. Nice. We'll go down one more time, and I'll give you another variation. Bring the arms out, bending into the knees. So you can either stay here, we can bring the left palm into the lap. Right arm comes up and over and goes into that beautiful side stretch we did earlier. And then we can flip that, so bring the right palm in the middle, left palm over the top and stretching out the other side. Excellent. And then bring the palms back together, straighten through the legs, coming back up. Bring the hands onto the hips, and we're going to pigeon toe the toes inwards this time. And we're taking an inhale as we open through the chest. And on the exhale, we're going to fold down halfway, gazing down at the mat. So bringing the weight into the backs of the legs and the heels. And if it's enough, you can stay here. If not, we're going to bring the left hand down and the right hand down. And if the hands don't quite reach, you can widen the stance, or you can use one of the chunky blocks to bring the hands onto. And if you need a little micro bend in the knee, that's fine as well. So just go into where feels good for you. So again, sending that weight to the backs, the heels. Lovely. 2 more breaths. So bringing the left hand into the middle, I'm going to reach the right arm up towards the top of the mat. Again, if you need the block, you can bring the block underneath the hand, get a little bit more length in your twist. At home, if you have a block or a pillow or anything like that, you can use that. Using the breath, inhaling and exhaling. 1 more breath. Bring the right hand down. I'm going to swap over, and again, if you need that block. Inhaling and exhaling. Almost there, guys, doing really well. And then bring the left hand back down. Bring both hands onto the hips. Maybe bending in the knee if you need to. And inhale, we're going to raise the chest to come back up. Nice and slow. Heel toe the feet inwards. And we're going to keep them wide. And we're going to go down into a yogi squat. I'll give you some options. So if you're new to yogi squat or you're kind of half familiar with it, you can use 2 chunky blocks in the middle. At home, if you've got blocks or pillows that you can sit on, so you can bring them sort of between the legs, bring the feet forward. You're going to sort of squat down onto the blocks. Creeping the feet forward, you want to bring the elbows into the inner creases of the knees. That's one variation. Or if you're quite familiar with yogi squat, you can just come all the way down. without the block. Bring the elbows into the knees. Careful. Okay. Awesome. Really nice, guys. And sending the breath in towards the hips. Two more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. One more. So we're going to rise up. So we're going to press into the heels, coming back up. Your hands into prayer. Well done, guys. And hands out to the sides. We're going to come back to the front of the mat. So if you've got any blocks on the mat, just sort of move them to one side. Nice. So inhaling, bring the arms up and through towards the top of the ceiling. Inhaling and exhale, we're going to fold down, fingers to the mat. And we're going to step back with the left leg all the way to the back of the mat. And we're going to drop that knee, flatten the foot, and we're going to bring the left hand onto the mat, right hand onto the knee. Pressing into the knee, you can look over the right shoulder. If you do need a block, you can bring the hand underneath the left hand. Second inhale, gazing up over the right shoulder. You can stay here, or you can bring the right arm up. And if you want a little bit more, you can tuck the back toe, pulling up into a low lunge. Again, just using the breath, finding whichever variation works for you. Excellent. Bring the back knee down. If you went for that variation, bring the hand down. And we'll bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. And again, if you need the block, you can pop it underneath the hand. Press the shin and the forearm together. Take an inhale. We're going to open out through the chest. Reaching that left arm up. And if the arm doesn't want to quite reach, you can wrap it around the lower back and bring the back of the hand onto the lower back. Again, just using the breath here. And then bringing that hand back down. We'll bring the foot in between the palms. And we're just going to rock the hips back and forth. Swing the hips back and the arms back. And we'll take an inhale, push the hips forward, reach the arms up. And again, just try and make the arms nice and active. Bring the hands back down. And just to work the hips just that little bit more, we're going to bring the foot onto the outer blade edge. Bring the hand to the inside of the knee. We're just going to open out the hip just that little bit. Sending the breath into the hip. And if that's enough, you can stay there. If you want a little bit more, again, you can reach that arm up, or you can tuck the back toe. I'm just only going to the variation that works for you. 2 more breaths. And if you've got the back knee up, bring it down, bring the hand down, or bring that foot back in. Frame the foot between the hands and we'll actually rock the hips here. Send in the breath as you come back and forth. And then we're going to swap the knees over. So bring that right knee down. We're going to bring the left knee forwards. Again, just have the blocks to hand. Bring the right hand into the mat. Left hand onto the knee. And just press into the knee as you gaze over the left shoulder. Reach the right arm up. Again, if you need the block for the other hand, just to get a little bit more length, you can do so. Working with the breath. And then bring the hand down. And then bring the hand to the inside of the left foot. Again, just pressing the shin and the forearm together. And we're going to inhale and open out through that right arm. And if you need that extra length, you can bring the hand onto the block. and open out that way. And if you wish, you can tuck the back toes just to work with a bit of balance. And then bring the knee down, bring the hand back in. And then we'll bring the hand to the inside of the knee now. And we're just going to press open the hip, coming onto the blade edge of the foot, just as far as it can go. We're not forcing the hip, we're just teasing it out. See how that feels. And again, you can reach the arm up towards the top or tuck the back toe and come up. Remembering to use the breath. That's it, guys, doing really well. Not too long left now. Drop the back knee. If you've gone for that option, bring the hand down, bring the knee back in. And we're just going to frame the foot with the hands, rock the hips back and forth. Just bring the knee into the middle, hands either side. And then swinging the hips back and the arms back. And then we're going to swing them up, push the hips forward. Reach the arms nice and high. There we go. And then bring the hands down. Bring both knees together. And we're going to walk the hands towards the knees. I'm going to just sit onto our heels just for a few moments. And if you want a little bit more, you can come onto the tippy toes. Try and get the bum onto the heels, as close as onto the heels as you can. If you want a little bit of a toe stretch. Just allowing the breath to start to settle, maybe closing down the eyes. And then coming back onto the feet, bring the hands to one side. We're going to kick the legs out in front. I'm going to get onto our backs. So we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest, just massaging the lower back. And then keeping the right knee in towards the chest, you're going to straighten through the left leg, sliding it down onto the mat, allowing it to rest. Pull the right knee in towards the chest with a nice deep inhale. And exhale, having a little bit of a relax into the stretch. Inhale, pull the knee in. Exhale, just allow the hips to stretch out. One more breath, pull the knee in. And exhale out. Swap the knees over, so bringing the left knee in towards the chest, sliding that right leg onto the mat, allowing it to rest. Take an inhale as you pull the left knee in towards the chest. And exhale, relax into the stretch. Inhale, pull the knee in. And exhale, relax. One more breath, inhale. And exhale. So you can release the leg and allow the legs to rest on the mat. So as we get into our relaxation and our shavasana, you can use props. So you're welcome to use maybe a bolster for under the knees or the blocks for under the head or the thighs. We've got some eye masks, blankets, and at home, if you want to use whatever you've got there, maybe you're in bed or on the sofa, you can grab a blanket and just get yourself nice and cozy. And I'm going to turn down the lights. So just using anything you need to get yourself extra cozy. Once you're comfortable, just coming back to your breath. Taking a nice soft inhale into the chest once more. And exhale out through the mouth. Inhaling into the chest and releasing out through the mouth. One last one. Inhale it and exhale. Just allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. And if the eyes are open, maybe closing them down. Just allowing this time for your rest. Gently start to bring movement back to the body, wriggling the fingers and the toes, maybe moving the head side to side or in circles, releasing any breaths, any yawns that the body needs. And when you're ready, slowly roll onto one side in the fetal position. And when you're ready, keep the eyes closed and come back to a comfortable seated position, taking your time, removing any props out of the way. Carefully bring the right hand onto your tummy and the left hand into your chest. Keeping the eyes closed. If you did have an intention or affirmation, just bringing your awareness back to it. And then taking a nice deep inhale into the chest. And exhale out through the mouth. Letting go of any last bits of tension. One last breath, inhale. And exhale. And then bring the palms together into the chest and just give them a nice rub. Make sure the palms are nice and warm and toasty. Once they're warm, we're going to cup the hands over the eyes and allow that new heat, new energy to massage the eyeballs and the eye sockets, giving us a new, fresh new look for the week ahead. Gently blink the eyes open into the dark space. And we're going to carefully peel the hands away as we come back into the room. Bring the hands back into prayer, center of the chest. Just give yourself thanks for showing up today. Give your bodies thanks and your breath. Thank you for this new day of life and this new week to come. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Hope you have a wonderful week and I hope you take it easy and stay warm. Thank you. Thank you.